Alright, so I'm going to try my best to explain how to do this skip. It's not the most consistent thing. I still don't get it 100%, but um, yeah, I'm just going to try and demonstrate it and explain. So let's just start from here. Um, Once you get to this area, obviously we're just going to wait for these guys to get run over. Yeah. So we only need one grenade right now to do this. Um, you can get two if you want, just in case. Okay. So
Okay.
what we want to do is, obviously, we're going to end up here, and we're going to do a zip uh, to chapter 7. What I see a lot of people try and do is the propane method, where you run up against this wall, you throw and then jump, and then you get clipped out of bounds. I mean, I got that first try, but honestly, it isn't consistent. So I don't really recommend doing this method, because you could be at this for like minutes trying to get this to work. So I'm just gonna restart checkpoint. So yeah, while you can go for this, like, and it's not really hard, you just have to keep going against this wall and jumping and hoping that it works. I just don't recommend it. There's a more consistent way of getting there, and it's doing an airwalk on this washing machine. So how we're gonna set this up is we're just gonna jump on here, and we want to position ourselves like on the right side. So basically here, next to the bottom right corner of this machine. And then we want to aim ourselves. We want to aim basically on the middle of the fence. You can see this pole here is a bit like lighter than the other ones. This is usually where I aim. Um, and then we're going to perform an upwards airwalk. So I just want to mention, I'm going to assume that whoever's watching this already knows how to do airwalks and zips and upwards airwalks and stuff like that. Because this strat is kind of advanced, and I wouldn't really recommend it to someone who's new to the game. Um, it's just there's no need really, because there is already the airwalk version of this skip, and I don't think it's necessary for beginners. Uh, but yeah, without further ado, we're gonna do an upwards airwalk. So I'm just gonna try and demonstrate this first.
Oh boy.
Okay, that wasn't the perfect demonstration, but yeah, let's just go through what happened there. So after setting ourselves up, the upwards airwalk is kind of a tight the timing is very tight to initiate it. You want to push the left stick like immediately before pressing journal, so the touchpad. Um, like the time in between it has to be very quick, and that's how Nate goes up. So the quicker you do it, the more Nate goes upwards, essentially. So let me just try and do that. Okay, so this is a bad example. This is me pushing up and then pressing journal like really quickly. As you can see, Nate's going just upwards literally without going forward that much, and we don't really want that. And I'll try and show another bad example of me not going up enough. Yeah, so this is Nate not going up enough, and that's because I pushed the left stick pretty slowly, and then touchpad pretty slowly after that as well. So I will try and do the perfect one. Okay, so this angle's pretty good. Basically, we want Nate to end up reaching the lamppost with his feet, and that's when you know you've got a good angle. So yeah, this is pretty good, and everything like kind of despawns. Um, it just disappears, but then it will reappear eventually. And once you see Nate like hitting an invisible wall, that's when you know to throw the grenade against the wall on his right. So he hits a wall, I throw the grenade,
Oh, great.
and I get hit by it. Um, Usually, if it was a better throw, he would fall just straight down and not land on this. But it's okay because you can just grab this ledge and drop down here. So yeah, I'd say give that. It's just a feeling type thing. You'll get the hang of it eventually. But yeah, I recommend just watching my inputs and trying to replicate that. And then the next part, this zip, also just watch my inputs. Is probably the best way to learn. I will try and explain it, but let me just demonstrate it first. Okay, we made it. You don't really want to land here. I think it is possible to land here without dying, but reason why is because there's a propane here, and if that explodes, you're basically dead because the grenade impact and the propane is just gonna kill you. So I don't actually know where to land this. Um, I'll just try and put it here and see what happens. Actually, hold on. Maybe if I do put it next to the propane. Okay, so hitting the propane is fine, just as long as the grenade is behind it. And the trigger for the chapter 7 start is literally here. I'm not gonna trigger it because I obviously want to explain how this is done, so let's do that. Okay, so I figured doing a voiceover would be a better idea, just explain this. So we want to hug this wall on the right as much as we can, and then we want to, with the reticle, aim in this specific spot, uh, and then just initiate the zip. And sometimes this can happen. Nate can just, for some reason, stay stuck on this invisible wall, but he will go past it eventually. And then after he goes past that wall, you want to count 7 seconds or 6, 7 seconds, and then you want to pause. Now, the moment you want to unpause is essentially when you see buildings appear or the sky change color from black to orange again, or even to this blue color that I got, because that sometimes can happen. And then next, once you see those buildings appear, they're gonna disappear again, and once they disappear, you want to do a quick pause. It's important that it is a quick pause and not a long pause, otherwise you could potentially die. So yeah, make sure it's a quick pause. And then after that, Nate will hit a invisible wall for a little bit. It can vary, but you'll just see him hit an invisible wall. So yeah, after he goes past that wall, you basically just want to do nothing for half a second to a second, and then you want to pause immediately. Now all you have to do is wait until the rest of the area loads and then unpause, and hopefully you've ended up at the cutscene or in the area where the cutscene is. I did actually forget to mention that if you do land here but not at the cutscene, it is important that you do have a grenade, I guess, so that you can get yourself out of that situation and or out of that airwalk and just run to the cutscene. But yeah, there are other factors in this skip that affect where you end up, which is why I don't really recommend going for it. So things like speed and like your angle can change a lot, and it's just very hard to control. So if you're too fast, you'll end up behind the area, and you don't really know if you're going too fast or too slow. Like it's hard to tell. And also, your zip angle, you could be below the area you want to be in. Your zip could go like too far down. It could even go too high up sometimes. But yeah, it really is up to you whether or not you want to lose your sanity to do this skip to save 2 minutes in your run. So yeah, thanks for watching.